What's up, everybody? It's TJ here with What's the Biz with TJ. And you guys know we love our resources. I'm here with my friend Moses, who is an amazing community leader, founded a nonprofit, and he's here to share some information about some of the funds and loans that are available for businesses. And it's important for us to apply for these grants and loans just because they're at a low interest rate. But he'll talk to you all about that. So Moses, you could definitely take it away.
Yeah, thanks for having me, TJ. I appreciate it. So I just want to speak to everybody with the options that are available, specifically starting with the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program Loan, which can also be forgiven. It has a great program there. Starting off with that, the PPP loan, you're able to use that for 60% of payroll costs. You're able, and then the rest of it, you can use it for renting costs, utilities, and anything that goes with running your business. So specific to that, I would like to tell people that you don't have to have a lot of employees. You don't have to have a filed LLC to apply for that. You can apply for that as an independent contractor, as a sole proprietor of your own business. So it's important for us to clarify that for people. The application itself is not very long. What you need is that a 1099, which means that as an independent contractor, you did business that was more than $600. So whether that's you were a Uber driver, a DoorDash person, a Grubhub person, whatever it was that you were doing as an independent contractor, you were eligible to apply for that. Usually from all those companies, Lyft, any of those, you get a 1099 miscellaneous form, or if you are business that works through whether that's Cash App, or whether that's PayPal, or whether that's Shopify, they're likely sending you a 1099K. So you have that information, and the supplemental documentation like your filed tax returns from 2019, and as well as a pay stub or proof of income from February 2020. So if you have all of those documentation as a sole proprietor, you're able to apply for the PPP loan.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull up the website because we talked about how you can get here. And Moses, if you just want to kind of speak on it, and I'll kind of follow your lead. Right.
So if you're sitting there wondering, where do I go to actually apply for this? As you can see here, and TJ will share this with everybody in the zip code there. Yes. TJ, go ahead and put in your zip code for wherever you're at.
I don't need the feds watching, so I'm gonna, no, I'm joking.
Right, and then as you can see, right there on the left, you'll find out all the different lenders that are doing it, and they're doing it on their website. So it is actually preferred for you if you have a banking relationship, whether that's with PNC, whether that's with KeyBank, whether that's with Chase, that you go through them directly. But if you don't have that, there are other options. There are non-vendors, whether that's Western Union, whether that's QuickBooks Capital, the different organizations that are able to process your loan. But using the SBA website, putting in your zip code, and from there you'll be able to identify all the different lenders within your area who are processing PPP loans at this time.
Okay, perfect. So what are some myths that you're hearing about PPP? Like earlier today we were talking and you asked me if I applied, and I was like, no, because I don't have any employees. You said contractors can do it. What other myths are you hearing?
Right. So, just so you're clear, if you're somebody on unemployment right now, you cannot apply for the PPP. That's considered double dipping by the government because the funding is coming from the same source. So if you're on unemployment, you do not qualify for PPP. Okay. Additionally, if you are a business that pays your employees as independent contractors, like my nonprofit organization, we pay folks as independent contractors. So my nonprofit organization does not qualify for the PPP. However, you don't have to have an LLC, or you don't have to have employees specifically to apply for the PPP. As a sole proprietor of your own business, as an independent contractor, using your social security number as your EIN, you are eligible to apply for the PPP. And another myth, is that you need to have a relationship with a bank. You do not. So just a little bit of research through the zip code search there, whether you're going through Western Union, whether you're going through QuickBooks Capital, like whoever you may choose to go through. There are some other banks that may be accepting PPP loans without requiring that you're a member of that bank. As long as you have your documentation, you're able to apply.
Okay, that's perfect. And if you guys have any questions about anything, especially when we go into the SBA or the EIDL, EIDL fund. I'll put Moses's information in the comments. So we can move on and talk about EIDL and like what that stands for and what's that for? Like, what is that?
Yeah, so the EIDL is more economic injury disaster loan, and essentially because we're in the middle of a pandemic, every business essentially qualifies for that. So that was previously closed, but the SBA just reopened it, I think last week. So what that means is similar to the PPP, it's going to require the same documentation, it's going to require the same accountability. The only difference is 70% of the funding has to go towards pay, towards employee. Now, the SBA will also give you $1,000 advance for every employee up to 10. So, and that is a grant. Now, with that said, even if you do not get the grant, it does not mean that you're not eligible for the EIDL. You can simply still apply for it. And in about a month or so, maybe 5 weeks, the SBA will get back to you with your loan amount. And it's usually a 30-year fixed loan, interest between 1% to 4%, maybe even less. And there's no repayment penalty for paying it off early. So this is a great opportunity to seek funding for your business, and also a great opportunity to get in good standing with the SBA, just in case in the future you were to require more funding for your business. It allows you a direct entry into the SBA.
Okay, can you like give like a little hint about like what SBA is for people who aren't really, like when you say, is this something you have to join? Like, yeah.
Yeah, so the SBA is the Small Business Administration in the United States. They provide anything from business counseling to business coaching to funding. So, but their funding recommendations are usually very strict. They require that you have all your documentations together. They require that you have the ability to prove that you're either an independent contractor or prove that you have employees to be able to qualify for that. So it's a great resource that a lot of people don't typically use or are familiar with, and they also allow you to. They also can coach you through business plan coaching and things like that. So it's a great resource, and they have a host of different funding options. So yeah, SBA.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Moses. So I'm gonna like pull the site up that can get us to the EIDL. So when they do go to this site, and you guys, I'll put this in the comments, they can go where to find the EIDL. Oh, here we go, right here.
Right, so just keep going down real quick. Right, so right there, right after, based on what TJ will send you, you see right there, like I said, they just reopened it. Before they were kind of restricting it to agricultural companies, but now it's back open to small businesses. And all you have to do is literally click that apply there, and then it will take you through the application. And like it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward. They'll ask you for supporting documents immediately, and you can, like I said, you can put in your tax returns from 2019. You can put in your payroll information from 2019. If you have 1099 information, you can put that in there. As much documentation as you have, the better. But they don't really require that you have that much documentation, other than what I've told you to put in. So yeah, there it is right there. It'll ask you stuff about whether do you have a felony, or is there anybody who owns more than 20% stake with a felony. That will immediately disbar you from the application. Mm-hmm. So and it requires that your place of business is in the United States, but it's not a very strenuous application. It's pretty straightforward. They ask you based on your income from 2019 to determine what your loan is going to be. So, and that's pretty simple math. You can take how much you made last year, divide it by 12, multiply it by 2.5, and that's about what you should be eligible for PPP. But the government will decide your eligibility based on whether it's your tax returns or based on whether it's your payroll numbers from 2019.
Okay, that's perfect. So if you guys have any questions about the PPP by tomorrow, please contact Moses. He's willing to answer your questions, and make sure you guys apply for these loans and grants. It's important. We need everybody to be funded. COVID has affected us in some ways more than others, but make sure you're taking advantage of everything that's coming down from the government, for real.
Absolutely. It's very important.
So thank you, Moses. And you guys make sure you share. And if you have any questions, hit up Moses. See you guys later.
Thank you.